Each member of the Fairfax Home Delivery Service has a consultant who will suggest books or who will find the books that you are asking for or substitutes.
I'm a supporter of and recommend everyone to support your public library, but I can speak from my heart that it's been nothing but a success story.
Hello, I'm Fran Guasta-Desengi. Welcome to Mature Living. The Fairfax County Public Library has something for people of all ages. In today's show, we'll explore resources that are especially helpful to older adults and those with disabilities, like large format documents, the Talking Book Program, and the Home Delivery Program. Today, I'm joined by Jennifer Cheetah, Branch Manager, and Ginger Hawkins, Library Outreach Manager, both with Library Access Services. They'll talk more about these and many other resources available through the library system. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
So glad that you're here and ready to explore what the library has to offer.
Definitely.
So I'm going to start with the overview of one of your very popular programs, and that would be the library's Home Delivery Program. Tell me a little bit about that. How does it work?
Sure. So the Home Delivery Program is intended to keep our customers reading. And if you're someone who can no longer easily visit one of our branches, whether because of age or frailty or a temporary or permanent disability, we can send you books through the mail. It's very easy to sign up. You can fill out an application with us online, or you can give us a call and we can get you started. How it works is we send you books through the mail in a sturdy canvas bag. You get to read them for 6 weeks, and when you're done, you flip the postage that's already prepaid, the label over, and it comes back to us. And then when you're ready for the next delivery, we can send those. The great thing is you work with one of our readers' advisors to select books that you choose, or they can help give you suggestions.
Is there a prerequisite that anybody needs to go through in order to participate?
Yeah, so you just have to meet one of those conditions. If it's difficult for you to come into the library and you're really not able to do so safely anymore, that's how we can get you enrolled for home delivery.
So it's not, you don't have to produce a doctor's note or anything of that nature?
It's just an application. You can tell us a little bit about your condition and why it is that you need this service.
The Talking Book Program is another very popular resource. Jennifer, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so the Talking Book Program is a federal program run through the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled, which is a division of the Library of Congress. So the great thing about this program is we provide free services to those who qualify, and they have access to hundreds of thousands of audiobooks, and we provide the free machines to play that, or they also get access to an app.
So, and the prerequisite on that, I mean, is it as relaxed and you just need to let the staff know why you need that program? Or?
Well, with this program, since it's a federal program, we do need certification from a competent authority. Okay. And essentially that is someone like a doctor, a registered nurse, a reading specialist, a librarian can sign off on it. And we can, if someone has questions about that, we can provide more examples of the competent authority.
All right, so just to review, so the Talking Book Program, you do need a doctor's note or somebody in an authority really signing off on it.
Yes.
But for the Home Delivery Program, it's just, you just let the staff know, I have a little bit of problems, you know, getting around, and it's very easy, it seems, both ways.
Right. Yes.
Okay, and I would imagine that you hear from your patrons how they enjoy both of these programs. I mean, do your patrons give you feedback?
Oh, definitely. We get lots of feedback. They're very passionate. So
It's a real quality of life issue for people, especially if they're homebound, for them to still be able to access the resources that they're accustomed to using, or to start using the library for the first time. We can sign you up for a card through this program as well.
Oh, well, that's good. And how, I guess people can stay on these programs, I would imagine, for as long as they like.
Yes, so the great thing about both of these programs is if you have a temporary disability, you can sign up, or if it's a permanent disability. So, you know, some people, some of our customers come to their disability later in life, so that's why they sign up. But if this is something you've had all your life, or it's just going to keep you incapacitated for 6 months to a year, you can also sign up as well.
Well, that's great. So it's not like you have to hit a certain milestone as far as age or anything like that. You can use it depending on whatever is going on in your life at that particular time.
Yes.
Now, we really are talking about older adults, but the programs that you have, anything geared to the younger set?
Yes, so specifically the Talking Book program. The great thing about that is the offerings come from the Library of Congress, like I said, so they provide a wealth of titles. So for those kids who love Harry Potter, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Curious George, so they have picture books in the audio format. They have Braille for those who read Braille. So it is a program for all ages.
So let's talk a little bit about the apps that are on our phones. I have an app called Libby, and it seems I can read books on there, but I can also get an audio book. So can you share a difference or what the Talking Book program has versus the Libby, or maybe they're both the same? I have no idea.
Well, they're similar. So the app through the National Library Service, the Talking Book program, is called the BARD mobile app. And it looks real similar to the machines that we provide as well. So if someone has used the machine and they're transitioning to the app, they're going to have the same format. So it's easy to use for our customers. The nice thing about the BARD mobile app is it has lots of titles, but there's no holds, no wait lists. So if you want a popular title like the latest Baldacci, you can check it out right away. You don't have to wait for everybody else like you do in Libby.
That is great. So we know that the library, it's more than just books. The library has the Library of Things. Ginger, can you tell us a little bit about that Library of Things?
Sure. So the library has lots of non-traditional items that you can check out, including board games, all the way to battery chargers, to moisture meters, things that you would need to use in your home. We have Chromebooks for lending. And at Access Services specifically, we also have our own Library of Things. So we have, for our customers, low vision board games, from playing cards, Uno to backgammon to tic-tac-toe. We also have magnifiers that people can check out and use. The Ruby 7 is what we have that is loanable, and it's a great way to check out a magnifying device to see if it's something that could be useful to you, especially if you were considering purchasing it on your own, because they can be expensive, so it's a nice way to check that out. And then we have other items that we can offer our customers. The large print books are a great example. Those are available in most libraries anyway, but we have a large collection of those.
I have a question with regard to checking them out. You mentioned Chromebooks. You mentioned the device that helps magnify.
Yes, the Ruby 7.
Right. So, what is the? Is there a time limit for checking these out? 3 weeks, or is it different versus a book?
Right. So those items would be the Ruby 7 would be a 3-week checkout.
Okay.
And the board games as well.
All right, lots of information, lots of things that are happening at the library. Is there a website that our viewers can go to get all this good information?
Yeah, the library's website is www.fairfaxcounty.gov/library. From there, you can see all of the library resources. And then to see the resources that Access Services offer specifically, we have a research guide that's been curated. And you'll see it on the main page under Department Resources. It's called Aging and Disability. There you'll find the links to the home delivery program that we talked about earlier, to Talking Books, and to other resources in the community that our customers may find useful.
So now we're talking about computers, and I don't want to end the conversation because I want to talk about something online called the events calendar.
Yes.
So Jennifer, tell me about that.
So for anyone who wants to visit the library, if they want to see what events that we have at any of the branches in the system, they can go to librarycalendar.fairfaxcounty.gov, and it brings you straight to the events calendar. There's a box that you can search for if you know what you want to look for, but it also lets you sort by branch. So if you live next to Chantilly, Centerville, even Sherwood, depending on what part of the county you live, you can search by that specific branch, or you can sort by audience. And so for those older adults who can still get to the library, they can search for older adult programming, and they have things like chair yoga, tech help. If you want to join like a French conversation group, lots of craft programs, things of that nature that you can attend during the day.
Nice. Well, before we close out the conversation, we have about a minute and a half left. I'm going to ask each of you in 30 seconds, just tell me what it is that brought you to the work that you do. You're passionate about it, I know, but how does it resonate with you? Ginger, I'll start with you.
Sure. Like I said earlier, I think that what we do brings a real quality of life to people, especially those who have trouble accessing traditional library resources. So if we can keep the library involved in their life and keep our books in their hands, or for them to listen to, then that is a great service.
Great. And Jennifer?
I think what's great about specifically Access Services is we're helping out a group that may feel left out of normal library services, and we're also helping customers who may feel isolated due to a disability or age, and we're able to help them get engaged again. And especially for those who have been lifelong readers and now they can't pick up a book due to arthritis, they can't see due to macular degeneration, we can provide that gift to them again. So, and it's just fantastic to hear the stories of customers who have told us, it sounds like they're exaggerating, but they tell us, we've saved their life because they felt they just couldn't go on anymore with their reading. So, yeah.
Such important work that you do.
Yeah.
Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Later in the show, we'll learn about a special branch in the Fairfax County Library system called the Virginia Room. But first, we'll hear from two Fairfax residents who are enjoying the programs offered by the Fairfax Library.
I have limited mobility, and Pat, my wife, smashed her knee, and she couldn't get around, so we couldn't get to the library at all. But Mount Vernon helped us, and they mentioned the Fairfax Access home delivery service, and we've been taking advantage of it since COVID. When I have finished the books that I have read, I flip over the card that they have in a plastic envelope on the outside, and then put them back in the bag and send it through the mail. Sometimes there's a book that's out of print that they would not happen to have, but they can suggest other books to you. And my personal consultant has become a very, very good friend of mine, and he has suggested some books that I hadn't even thought of, which have become favorites. I can keep them, it's up to 6 weeks. From what I understand, you can get talking books also.
I have come across in a little bit later in life to almost complete loss of my eyesight. So I found this system to be a better answer for me and providing me such high quality reading material. My younger grandchildren are starting to do some programs at the local library. But in my case, the libraries came to me. The olden days of finding someone to get the car, get me to the library. And this way I can work with the people at Access, and it's all comes to the house. I feel independent, and it's my capabilities that are making this happen, and that makes me feel really good. I'm not relying on others to get me the reading material that I so much desire. As long as the title's in the catalog, and there is some limits, but I have never had a problem. I order my books, and I can have them in the U.S. mail the next day, at worst 2 days. It's always there. So I read approximately 90 books a year, over 90. And so I use the service a lot, and I really enjoy even the new releases that come out, and I'm immediately notified of all of those, and they do come very quickly. I usually get in my mailbox a cartridge that comes, and it's very lightweight. I then take it and of course put it into the far right entrance. It slides right in, very easy. That gives me the next step, which I could hit the big play button, which is always on the right, and then there is a rewind and a fast forward on the top of the play button. And there's also Braille attached to all of these and explanations with them that come through the device. And of course on top of that I have the volume, and it's got a wide range, and the volume quality is very high. Also, another feature that I really like is the speed, and I really enjoy this feature because sometimes the narrators speak slowly and I like to speed it up, or vice versa. Sometimes I like to slow it down if I really want to focus on an issue. The other, you have a bass and treble also, and the main feature is it gives me a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and a 1-hour timer. So I do use that an awful lot, and of course the power on and off. It's rechargeable, it's mobile, it's also got a cord that recharges it, and extremely convenient. And it's a device that I have come to enjoy and use and rely on, and it helps me get a lot of books that I enjoy.
In the event that my glaucoma worsens or AMD becomes part of it, I'll just switch over to the talking books. Thomas Jefferson once told a friend of his, "I cannot live without books." And I feel the same way, because books open up the world to you. And I hope that anyone who can read does read.
I find it just, again, one of the best services that I've ever had dealing with any government, and so I'm a strong believer and a strong supporter of it.
In our first segment, I talk with Jennifer Cheetah, branch manager, and Ginger Hawkins, library outreach manager, both with Fairfax County Library Access Services. They talked about some valuable resources available through the library system. I now welcome Suzanne LaPierre, Virginia Room librarian. Suzanne, welcome.
Thank you.
So we're talking about all things library, and I know the Virginia Room is where you are based. So there's something about this particular branch that's different from all the others. Can you give us a sort of an overview?
Yes, absolutely. So the Virginia Room is a special history and genealogy research center within the Fairfax County Public Library system. We're actually the entire second floor of the City of Fairfax Regional Library, and we specialize in material pertaining to Virginia, Fairfax County in particular, and all sorts of genealogy materials.
So it's primarily historical documents. I mean, is this something that if somebody sees something of interest and then they want to check it out, or I guess that they can't? So tell me a little bit about that.
So it is a research center, so nothing can be checked out. However, people can bring a thumb drive and save images from the microfilm readers or the scanners.
Okay. And so now I've been to the Virginia Room a couple of times. So when you walk in, basically what can you expect to find in this library? Is it just documents? Do you have any videos? I don't know, but what is the scope of what you offer?
So we do have a variety of primary source materials. We have manuscript collections, photographs, maps, as well as books, of course. And most of our collection is available for public browsing on the open shelves. However, part of our collection is in the rare book room, and that we can bring out on request. So if anybody wants to see something in the rare book room, like such as the manuscript collections or photographs or yearbooks, we just bring it out for them. Okay. But most of the collection is browsable.
I would imagine there's a lot of donations from the community with regard to making sure that the Virginia Room has these treasures. Are there a lot of donations from the community?
We do get a lot of donations. We do also purchase items that we need in order to round out our collection and keep it up to date. But we get a lot of donations from local residents, including books and sometimes, as I mentioned, a manuscript collection or something that somebody has that they think might be of interest to the Virginia Room because it has a Virginia or Fairfax County subject matter. We do have 600 yearbooks from public and private schools throughout Fairfax County, and we always welcome donations to that collection.
So Suzanne, part of the Library of Things, there's something called the family history kits. That sounds intriguing. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the family history kits are kits that families can check out that include recording devices and questions that they can ask their family members, and it helps families who want to work on their family history together, even with their children. And those can be checked out of any branch. So people can go to the library website and see and put a hold on the family history kit and have it come to any branch that's most convenient for them.
In the earlier segment, we talked about resources that are available, such as large print books and that kind of thing. So if somebody is doing some research in the Virginia Room, do they find things that are accessible with regard to that, like large print items, or not so much?
Well, we don't have the same materials and equipment that the Access Services branch has, like large print books, but we did recently put together a Vision Aids kit that has a strong digital zoom magnifier and some other magnification tools so that if people are doing research in the Virginia Room and need help seeing some of the archival material, they can use those and just ask.
So I have a question for you. In the Virginia Room, what is the most unusual acquisition that you have for people to take a look at?
Oh, good question. We used to have a very old children's clothing outfit, but I'm not sure if Chris Barbershock donated that to the Fairfax County Museum, the City of Fairfax Museum, because sometimes we might have something in our collection that's really interesting, but it's not really the kind of material that fits with our collection guidelines, so we might donate it to another organization where it would be more in fitting with their collection, and vice versa. We often get donations from other organizations as well. You know, perhaps George Mason University Special Collections or the City of Fairfax Museum. But we have an interesting doctor's kit from Dr. Jones, who was a turn-of-the-century doctor in the county, and we have his medical kit with all of his equipment, and we have his diaries and journals, and that's an interesting collection.
Fascinating. Excellent. And so I'm sure people enjoy taking a look at that. Is there anything that is on display that is where people always tend to gravitate to when they get to the Virginia Room? Like, what's your most popular, I don't want to say exhibit because it's not like a museum, but it kind of is.
Yeah, we do have some displays. We have a display case, and we try to put materials out on display, especially items that are in the archives that people might not be able to see otherwise. We can put them out in the display case so people can take a look at them. We have, as I mentioned, the yearbooks that we have are really popular. People often want to see, often they're looking for their mother or another ancestor to see, you know, whether he or she was in the yearbooks, and maps are popular. We have crisscross directories where people can look up their find who was living in a particular house at a particular time. Those are pretty popular as well.
So when patrons come to the Virginia Room, I know because I've been to the archives several times, and there are some parts of their collection that they make you wear these gloves because they don't want your oils to damage anything. When patrons come to the Virginia Room, is there anything with that regard? Do they have to be careful about what they're handling, or not so much?
So currently we only recommend the gloves when people are handling photographs because of the emulsion on the photographs. But other than that, we found that the gloves can sometimes make people's fingers clumsier, so we don't recommend them for other materials other than the photographs.
Okay. And with regard to the people that come in, I'm sure it's a popular branch. I mean, can you tell me about when you're open, and is it very crowded at some times of day, but maybe not others? Kind of give us a sense of that.
Yeah, so the Virginia Room is open all the hours that the City of Fairfax Regional Library is open. So we're open 7 days a week. We always open at 10, but and we close usually at 6, but 3 nights a week we're open till 9 p.m. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we're open till 9 p.m. And people can just walk in and use the Virginia room. They don't need an appointment. Sometimes people think because it's an archive that they would need an appointment, but they can just walk in. Sometimes it is helpful for people to call ahead if they have a really complex or specific research need. They can call ahead and let us know so we can get some materials out for them, especially if they're coming from quite a distance, so that they can maximize their time during their visit.
That's a good idea. And then if they're on site and if they have questions, I'm sure there's staff that's available to assist them?
Yeah, so we always have somebody at the reference desk.
Okay.
One person upstairs, and then downstairs in the City of Fairfax Library, there's more staff down there. So
Excellent. Well, tell me a little bit about your personal history. I mean, how long have you worked at the Virginia Room? And I know that the work that you do is very impactful. How does that resonate with you, with the work that you do and how you're impacted in the community?
So I have been with the Virginia Room for a little bit over 5 years, but I've been with Fairfax County Public Library System for almost 19 years now. So, and before that, I did some work with museums and special collections. So what's important to me is that we are able to preserve and organize a collection, but also make it available to the public and make it more accessible to the public, but also preserve it for generations to come.
Running a library system it's huge. Do you have a lot of volunteers, maybe among the older adult community? I mean, tell me a little bit about that and if that's the case.
Yes, older adults are a huge boon to the library. Many of our volunteers and Friends of the Library members are older adults. The Virginia Room has its own Friends of the Library group, and the City of Fairfax Regional Library has a Friends of the Library group as well. So we always welcome folks who want to either volunteer or become a member of one of the Friends groups.
We covered a lot of ground here, Suzanne. Is there anything else that maybe you want to share with our viewers?
Well, I could tell you about some of the programs we have for folks who are interested in doing their genealogy or delving more into their genealogy.
Yes.
On the 3rd Monday of every month, we have folks from the Fairfax Genealogical Society come and do an open genealogy night, and people can just walk in and ask whatever questions they have about their family history and get help with that. And starting in the fall, we are going to have a bi-weekly genealogy for beginners class.
Oh, okay.
And then for history buffs, our manager, Chris Barbershak, does a local history book club that is virtual. And so once a month, they discuss a certain number of chapters of a local history book. And that's good for folks that want to do an evening program, but they don't like to drive at night.
Yes.
Because it's online and virtual. And and we also have a portal called the CPAN, a portal to the circuit court records for Fairfax County.
Sure.
So people can use that to research old land records, marriage records, deeds and court records.
Excellent.
And we have a memory depot.
Okay.
Memory depot is for scanning your photos, slides, negatives, VHS tapes to digital format.
Oh, that's great.
So we were, I think, the first branch to have it, but there are several other branches that have it now, so people can go online and see which branch closest to them has a memory depot.
Excellent. I'm going to have to look into that. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Excellent. And thank you for watching this edition of Mature Living. I'm Fran Guasta-Desengi, and we'll see you next time.